Yeah, those legs are spread wide. Some very large man must have sat on there. Well, let me see, how's that feel? Again, I'm gonna have to switch rooms if I do this again. Maybe today's not a good day for my show. What do? I'm like crazy when it comes to good seating. And you can ask anyone I've ever been in a relationship with. I tend to switch chairs a lot. I need the very right chair at a restaurant. I don't want my back to the door. I certainly don't want to be back in the corner by the bathroom. And if I am, I better have my back to the bathroom and be looking out towards the restaurant. But either way, I won't be pleased. And if the chair's wiggly or rickety at all, I don't like that. So this chair, again, its legs are kind of splayed out, and one of them might be splayed a little further, so I almost feel like I'm leaning over. This could be a horrible live today, folks. A horrible live. Hold on, I gotta get my water and my topper. Hold on. I mean, seriously, this isn't even safe. This isn't even safe. It could be the best live ever. I love the way you turn that frown upside down, Josh. Let's see, where are we? Good morning, Sandra Lynn. Good morning, J-Ra. Good morning, Gear Quest. I wonder why Gear Quest found me. I wonder if it's because I did videos about riding a scooter or maybe my Kia Soul. Hello, beautiful. Am I at the Embassy Suites? I wish I was at the Embassy Suites. Not that it's like the highest end hotel, but I don't even have an Embassy Suites budget. I'm staying in a pretty low cost hotel, motel here in Naperville. Screw it. Good morning. Sometimes I want to give you the whole recap. And pretty soon I'll be telling you I was born on August 7th, 1968. Hinsdale Hospital. Parents named Margaret and Steve. Sit back, relax, because this story is going to take about 56 years for me to get through. But we don't want to do that because we don't have 56 years. And let's just keep track of the time. Buy a drone to supplement my channel. I don't have any idea what you're talking about. I mean, I'm somewhat aware of what a drone is. I know the news cycle about 3 weeks ago, they were flying over New Jersey, and I said, this is just a bunch of bunk. And everyone goes, oh, no, they're not. It's not bunk. It's aliens. It's foreign governments. And now nobody's talking about it anymore. Let's see. Good morning, Ryan. No, I'm not at the Embassy Suites. Again, good morning. Good morning. Let's just start at the beginning. Good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and now Softly Ariel's saying you can fly over towns and cities and implement it with your gimbal action. Well, I appreciate the suggestion, Ariel, but that's not what I do. That's not what I do at all. I'm not trying to give tours of towns. I do a tour of town, but I appreciate the thought. And if somebody wanted to partner with me that owned a drone and said, hey, Ken, we could put your walking videos of downtown together along with my drone aerials and really highlight the town, I'd do it. But, that's just not what I do. You didn't bother me. I just appreciate it. I get a lot of suggestions. And I think in life, it's so easy to get distracted from what it is that we do and what makes us special. And what makes us unique. And we're always trying to do what somebody else is doing. And while it's not a bad idea to keep your eyes open to opportunities, when you do what I do, which is talk live to your phone every day, you have 1,000 people telling you you should do other things. And if I did that, I'd never do this. And I want to do this. I enjoy this. And I think I'm pretty good at this. So, am I a Boston talk radio host? No, but I've been to Boston. I've run the Boston Marathon. It's funny because that always gets like, people think if you ran the Boston Marathon, it's like running the Olympics. So I like to throw that out any chance I get. Anybody that has ever been east of the Mississippi, I tell them, hey, I've run the Boston Marathon. I use it as much as possible. But anyway, again, my name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is 5:07 a.m., and I believe it is January 9th. Happy Thursday. This is a little show. Well, now somebody's talking about the Boston Marathon. It's a huge race out here. J-Raw, I don't know how old you are, but I ran the hugest of the Boston Marathons. In 1996, it was the 100th anniversary of the Boston Marathon. And before then, there was always like 8,000 people or something like that in the race because they have limits on times. You got to run certain times to qualify. Because so many people wanted to join. But so many people wanted to run the 100th anniversary of the Boston Marathon, which was 1996, and it's the 1 year I ran. It was huge, and there was 45,000 people in the race, and maybe that's every time now, but yeah, it was huge. And again, the Boston Marathon versus Chicago Marathon, I guess is the other marathon I've run a bunch of times. Boston's got kind of narrower New England Revolutionary War sort of streets. And when you have 45,000 people on a course running through the somewhat narrower streets of Boston, it's kind of wall to wall the whole way. It was kind of neat because I ran it with my brother and we weren't really running for time so much, just because the time of year, because the crowds, the fact that we had to jog a mile to get anywhere near the start, because I think it starts in Worcester, I believe, or something. But anyway, we couldn't get anywhere near the start, and we had to jog to the start. And the last thing you want to do when you're about to run a marathon is do any running to get to the start, because you're going to be running plenty without it. Hey, Shelby Church, thank you so much for following the live creator. And Jove, your first time here, well, welcome aboard, and thank you so much for joining today. I hope you enjoy what I'm talking about, whatever it might be, because I haven't even gotten in my intro yet, and I'm still worried about falling off my chair, but sometimes that happens. Oh, Hopkinton, yeah, that's right. What is Worcester? Why do I know Worcester? I mean, I like Worcestershire sauce. But hello, Shelby. But anyway, let me take a swig of water. Again, my name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. This is a show I've been doing for more than 5.5 years now. And a show about me talking, and a show about me sharing some feelings, sharing a little bit about the ups and downs in life. Just sharing a little bit about life. And for those that are watching a while, I see people talking about their coffee. You know, it's not just a show about me talking. You know, it is also a show. I laugh because I'm in a fairly low-priced hotel, and I'm drinking hotel coffee. Yes, I can, Busto, but I'm not going to do it because I'm doing the introduction. Well, I will do it. Busto wanted me to name the 3 major Axis powers of World War II, which are Germany, Italy, and Japan. And strangely, I believe Japan and Italy were on the other side in World War I. How things turned. But anyway, again, for those that have been watching a while, you know it's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me. And I am excited to have my first sip. And my hope is wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. I was checking in last night, and I'm checking in through Expedia, and I'm buying, I'm looking for cheap hotels in Naperville, to be honest with you. I'm on a cheap hotel budget, and even that is a stretch. Um, Even that is a stretch. Well, Busto, I'm a bit of a documentary nut, and I've watched about every minute of every documentary on World War II. I really think I almost have. It's neat when I'll come across a documentary and I'll see footage of something that I've not seen before, and I'll go, wow, where have they been hiding this? It's almost a problem. You're from Naperville, Patty. Well, welcome, Patty from Naperville. I appreciate that. What was I saying? Something about the coffee, maybe. Something about the hotel. I don't know. Cheap hotel, budget. Yeah, let's drink some more coffee. Oh, it's kind of good though. I mean, it's not great. It's packaged. Oh, I know what I was saying. I checked in through Expedia and looked up one of the cheapest hotels. I mean, I stayed here a couple weeks ago. I uh, the 30-second story of my elevator pitch of who I am. Well, I'm a guy that's gone through a lot of highs and lows, and I have a finance degree from the University of Illinois. I was a stockbroker for 10 years. I was a realtor for 17 years. I am twice divorced. My second one happened about 2 years ago, and at that time, I left my career as a realtor, not totally sure what I was going to do when I grew up, and have been kind of bouncing around. But the one thing that's been consistent and moving me forward every day is going live and talking a little bit on Coffee with Ken. And I feel it's what I'm meant to do, and I feel it's kind of my purpose, if you will. I have other purposes to love on my four beautiful kids and stuff. But as far as career goals, if somebody was going to ask me, what do I want to do? What's my dream job? I'd say it'd be drinking a cup of coffee and talking to an audience every morning, because I think I'm pretty good at it. And here I am. But anyway, so I'm checking in, looking for low-rise hotels in Naperville. And I came across the one I stayed at 2 weeks, and it was a little cheaper than it was even 2 weeks. And I go, hey, at this good deal, I can't help but stay here. And it's a Motel 6, and it's actually surprisingly clean. So I like that, and it's got a bathtub, and I like that a lot because I like taking hot baths. But anyway, it was a little cheaper than when it was last time, and I'm asking the woman at the front desk if they have some coffee packs for me because I do a coffee talk show, and they thought that was the funniest thing. I wonder if they followed. I wonder if they're watching right now. Who knows? But either way, she goes, oh, I'm sorry. Your room doesn't have a coffee maker. You had a deluxe room the last time. Let me show you the coffee maker. I ended up accepting that and going, well, I guess I'll just be going to Starbucks in the morning when I wake up. And as I'm checking in and looking at what the basic room was, no longer the deluxe room. I think in my deluxe room had an ironing board and a coffee maker last time. And for that, they charged more. And I haven't used an ironing board in 20 years. And whether I had the deluxe room or not, I wanted a coffee maker. So I went back to the lobby and said, hey, is there any chance you guys can give me a coffee maker? Because I do this show, it's called Coffee with Ken. And they go, woo-hoo, woo-hoo. That's so funny. Where are you? Oh, we'll follow you. Woo-hoo. And they got me a coffee maker. And she gave me 2 packs of the coffee, which I am enjoying in front of you right now. Right now. Standard issue hotel coffee extruder. I'm not sure what the extruder means. But I'll tell you what, it's better than going outside and going to Starbucks and starting my day at 5:30 in my car, because I've spent some days in my car. And the nice thing, I mean, there's a lot of nice things. There's a bed. There's a bathtub. There's an air conditioning unit, which I don't want blowing right now because it's got a lot of, makes noise. I don't like that white noise. Hey, Ariel Garcia, thank you so much for following the live creator. If anybody out here is new to my show, please follow along. I go live every morning, talk for 45 minutes to an hour and a half, and my page grows a little bit every day. When I grow up, this is what I anticipate doing for a living. People say I have a good voice, I should be on the radio. I think radio is an old medium, and social media is a better opportunity to put yourself, your thoughts, your voice, in my case, in front of a large audience. And that's what I'm doing. So please follow along. I have fun with this. Patty asked, where am I? Patty, I thought we'd already talked about that. I think we're both from Naperville. Let's see. Somebody says taking a bath at a Motel 6 is diabolical. I'll tell you what, it's not. It's surprisingly clean. And I think this summer I rode across the country on my scooter, a Suzuki Bergman 400, to work at Yellowstone as a waiter for a few months. And I did that. And on that trip and on the trip back, I was really bare bottom budgeting it and staying in whatever the cheapest hotel was in wherever Montana or wherever South Dakota or wherever I was. And because of that, I'd come across some seedier hotels. There was one called like the Las Vegas Hotel, and it was in somewhere in Montana. And I don't know, it had, the only thing Las Vegas about it was tacky as crap. And it had some chip paintings of like the Las Vegas skyline. I don't know, because we were in Montana. And the carpeting was very ugly and bleh. And that was like $200, I think. That was like $200. Hey, thank you, Haifa, for following the live creator. I appreciate that. Hold on, my fan's still blowing. Let me just turn off the power. Stop, fan. You can't be blowing. The power is off. Thank you. Lulu asked, in Yellowstone, did I have to find my own housing or did I live with other staff? No, I went out there for the housing, really, for a job and for the housing. I, again, twice divorced. I have 4 beautiful kids. I owed child support to 2 wives. I'd left my career as a realtor, and which I was fortunate because the real estate market's been really tough the last couple of years. There's just not enough homes for sale. Plus, I was tired of it. Plus, I was only fairly good at it. And I didn't believe what I was doing. But it did allow me the opportunity to get big paychecks from time to time. And I don't know, bigger than I got when I started working at Target. But anyway, it was difficult to put a roof over my head as a twice divorced man with 4 beautiful kids and a lot of financial responsibilities. And I was going, I don't know what I'm going to do. And somebody that watches my show sent me a link to a company called Xanterra, Xanterra, if anybody's watching. And it's like XanterraJobs.com. And Xanterra is a company that handles the business side of the national parks, does the hotel operation and the gift shop and the gas station and the restaurant and what have you, and keeps the national park running. I think the government contracts that out to a couple different companies, and Xanterra handles a bunch of national parks. But anyway, to staff I stayed at the Mammoth Springs Hotel. To staff that area, they build these dorms these dorms, they're fine. They're fine. I mean, they were clean. They were pretty well run. The cafeteria was fine. The food was pretty okay, but it was cafeteria food. And the worst thing, the very first day, they served the food on trays. And I'm looking around, eating on a tray, you know. And I'm not saying like plates on a tray or bowls of Jell-O on a tray just to carry. But if you're getting Jell-O, it's going in the tray little thing. And there was a suggestion box. And always a man of action, as I am, that first day I wrote a suggestion that, hey, maybe we get some plates in here to make it feel less like a prison. Because I've seen Shawshank Redemption. I've seen other movies like that. And I don't want to be eating off no tray if I don't have to. But anyway, I did eat off a tray, and the food was okay. The work was plentiful. And as a server, you make pretty good money. You made pretty good money. The restaurant was always packed. There are no other restaurants. If tourists are going to be there, and they are, because it's Yellowstone. Hello. 4.5 million visitors a year from all over the world. The restaurant was always packed, morning, noon, and night. And the money was good, and the housing and the food was cheap. So it worked out fairly well. It was lonely for me. I missed my kids, the suburbs of Chicago, the hustle and bustle that is the real world. But it was beautiful, and it was an awesome, awesome trip as well. So I look back on it very, very fondly. MD Seafood watches every day. M&D Seafood, what's your favorite seafood? Or because you work for a seafood company, are you so sick of it that you never want to eat seafood again? Did you guys see the movie The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio? I think it was a really pretty good movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. But there's some dudes who, they're on an island, and their job is to fillet the fish. They catch the fish and they fillet it, and all they do is work with fish. And they go, fish, fish. All I can smell is fish. Blue crab's your favorite. All right. You own a seafood company. Well, very cool. Hey, Lisa Momo, thank you for following the live creator. Let's see. Hold on here. Right now I'm thinking scallops for me, and I don't even know why. And I don't even know what scallops look like in the wild. I mean, are they a long tube and you guys at the seafood company chunk them up into these things? Or are there scallops just kind of hopping along the bottom of the ocean, hoping a fish doesn't come along and go, or are they in a shell like a clam? I would imagine if it was just one of those little scallops bouncing along the bottom of the ocean, they wouldn't have a very long life expectancy. They probably come in a shell. Okay, well, thank you. Hold on here. Somebody asked, why did I go so far away from my kids? It was an opportunity I thought I had to take. I was trying to reconcile with my second ex-wife. It wasn't working out. And I did not know where I was going to stay and what job I was going to do that was going to put a roof over my head. And as a guy that's twice divorced, I don't need to go into the specifics, but a chunk of each paycheck, a fairly sizable chunk, goes to cover financial expense or to child support. And I'm not saying they don't need it or deserve it or earn it or whatever, but I'm saying the math doesn't leave much for this guy, especially a guy switching careers. So when I was offered a job where they were going to put me up and feed me for $500 a month, and I was going to be able to work as a waiter in one of the most beautiful places in the country, I thought I had to do it. And I did, and it was a cool experience, but I missed a whole heck of a lot while I was away. Was I at Yellowstone when that explosion happened? Yes, I was, Sherry. And the funny thing is, if it wasn't for TikTok, I wouldn't even have known it happened. I think we get the news, yeah, I wouldn't have known it happened. There really weren't any TVs to watch, and it wasn't a huge deal. I don't know. I don't think anyone lost their lives. But I'll tell you, when you're out there, you're not shocked. To call it even an explosion seems kind of silly because, have you been to Yellowstone? It's just this huge cauldron of boiling things. Fenced off areas, don't walk here, could die. Could fall in and get scalded to death. The whole thing, it's sitting on a giant volcano. So the fact that there was a spot where one spot went is not very surprising to me. Because again, the whole thing is just, I was in Mammoth Hot Springs. They're hot springs. They're whole huge areas you can't walk because there's bubbling water coming up. That bubbling water is being heated by something that might explode if the pressure gets too great. Hey, thank you so much for following the Live Creator. This is a nice audience. We've had a lot of people hopping on. I'm always live, says Margot. What else do I do? Well, I work out a lot. I love on my kids a lot. I'm going to be loving on my babies I'm picking them up early today. Their mama had something going, so she asked if I could pick them up at 7 o'clock this morning. I'm picking them up early today. Their mama had something going, so she asked if I could pick them up at 7 o'clock this morning instead of the usual time, which is 8:30, and which means, note to self, I can't talk for a tremendous amount of time today. But I can talk for another half hour or so and still get over there in time and pick them up. What am I going to do? I was thinking of bringing them back here. I've been staying at I was house sitting for a friend who was on a trip who had a cat, and he has a big, beautiful home not too far from here. But I don't know. I have two little ones. One's 2 and one's 3.5. And the 3.5 has Down syndrome, and he's the same size as the 2. And they're both toddling all over and grabbing things and knocking things over. And it'll be nice. I'll bring them in here. Contain them in these small 4 walls or these walls. Maybe see if I can find Sesame Street on the TV. Maybe see if they want to cuddle in the bed. Maybe give them a bath. That's what I'm going to do. And I am looking forward to it. What time do I go live in the morning? When I wake up. Well, I woke up today at 4 and laid in bed for about an hour. So I went live at 5 today. In a perfect world, I'd probably go live at 6 every day, but the world's not perfect, and I go live when I'm ready to get out of bed and drink some coffee. So that's why. So anyway, I have another pack of coffee. I'm going to finish this bad boy off. Prepare my next pot of coffee and make it for you and talk for a little longer. Do I ever sleep in, Sandra Lynn? Well, you probably know the answer to that is no. No. I set an alarm today, which is going to go off in a little bit on my phone. Well, it'll go off at like 6, so we can deal with that when it happens. We'll cross that path when it happens. But at 6 o'clock, don't be surprised if my phone starts ringing. Do I ever sleep in? No. No, I just don't. I have a kind of active mind. I go to bed pretty early and wake up pretty early. Yeah, this morning I woke up just before 4. Wish I would have slept a little longer, edited a video, listened to some positive affirmations that often will help me drift back off to sleep, and didn't. So at like 4:50, I rolled out of bed, got set up, and pushed live on the phone. Arliss or Aries says they feel like they waste their day if they sleep in. Yeah, I agree, but sleep's important, and it would feel good to sleep probably till 7 o'clock from time to time. But again, I go to bed, I fall asleep at about 9 or so. So if I slept to 7, that'd probably be too much. Hey, Jessica Marie, thank you so much for following the Live Creator. We've had a nice audience so far today, and we've usually we've had a lot of people pop on so far today, and we've usually we've had a lot of people pop on so far today, and we've usually we've had a lot of people pop on and follow the creator. Sandra Lynn is usually up by 5:30, sleeping in is 7. Yeah. Is your husband an early riser as well, Sandra Lynn? I think that would probably make for a more harmonious relationship if it was that way. I'm going to have to look in my next relationship for an early riser, for a morning person, a dog walker, somebody that likes the cold. But yeah. Lee said something woke me up around 4 and not sure what. Oh, he drives to the metro. I'll bet you, well, I bet it's getting crowded again. I bet it's crowded now. But for a while, 3 or 4 years ago, I was worried people were never going to take the train down to the city or work in an office again. And I remember just walking by the train station and just kind of being sad because the parking lots that used to be packed full were empty. There used to be a guy that sold coffee there that shut during the pandemic and has never reopened and never will. And I just thought it was the end, an end to the era that was all I knew. And fortunate, it seems. Oh, well, he's a train engineer. He's a train engineer. Part of me, the little boy inside, wants to hang out with your husband for a while, Sandra Lynn, and get like coal on my face and wear one of those hats and the overalls with the gray and white stripes and shovel coal and maybe walk along the top of the train like Polar Express. Can I do that? Can I do a field trip with your husband? I think that'd be neat. Let's just say this, and I'll bring it up. I was watching the news a little bit last night, and the story that was dominating the news was what's going on in California with the fires. And while it was sort of interesting and spectacular looking in terms of amazing raging fires, but, here I am, newscaster, and there's a raging house on fire right over there. It seemed kind of crazy. And while the loss of property and life, of course, is tragic, I think I could have enjoyed being a fireman. The little boy inside me not only wants to be a train engineer, but would have loved to have been a fireman. I've always had a thing for fire. I think it's beautiful. I'm not afraid of it, but I respect it just enough. And if they needed somebody, what am I going to do? Fly out there, ride my scooter out there and show up with a cup of water and say, hey, always wanted to be a fireman. Probably wouldn't work. But yeah, no, it's amazing footage. And again, I don't know what value it was in me watching. I talk about watching the news a fair bit, and I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm sure I'm not the only one that sat and watched the news of houses burning in California yesterday. And I'm wondering, what impact that does for us or how that benefits society or whatever. Maybe we donate money to the Red Cross or feel compassion. But for most of us, I felt compassion, but I wasn't doing a dang thing. I was laying in bed watching these fires burn. So I don't know, me feeling compassion, how much it helped. So drink a little more coffee. Hope you guys don't mind, but my first cup is out. So I'm going to take out this tray, and I don't want to leave. Somebody says, my heart breaks for them. Sherry, while I understand that your heart breaks for them, my wonder is, what value is that? And I mean it. I mean it. Yeah, I mean, all of our heart breaks for them. It sounds horrible, losing everything. You know, again, fortunately, the loss of life wasn't huge. But having your house burned down would be horrible. You have all your life's memories and all your thoughts, and you're, scared for your life. But I don't know what benefit your heart breaking for them does anything. So I'm going to pop this in. I'm going to get some water. Okay. Well, now you're sending prayers. Joey said people need to pay more attention to the environment and earth to prevent those fires. Hold on. Hold on. Do people need to pay more attention to the earth and the environment to prevent those fires? I wonder. It almost feels we're paying more attention to the earth and the environment than we ever had in my life. It almost feels like we're getting more of those. We should have empathy. Well, we do. We do have empathy. But again, I don't know what empathy does. Sherry Gainey says she prays for him. Yeah. I just think generally watching the news is not a good thing. I mean, I'm sure it's not. And while this was spectacularly bad news, I could flip on the local news here in Chicago right now and hear about loss of life or a smaller fire or a murder in Lincoln Park or something. And I'm just wondering what the value is. Candy said, empathy may not directly help, but it's a genuine human quality we all should have. I think we all do have it. Oh, what's the noise? It's my coffee maker. It's my coffee maker. It might be loud to you guys because you're leaning against the coffee maker. So I'm going to bring you over here. What's the racket in the background? Well, you guys were leaning against my coffee maker. You guys were leaning against my coffee maker. Not Original says not everyone feels empathy. All right. Well, I've got to hold the phone and my hands are shaking. I don't like that. Come on, coffee. Get going. Get going. I do have the shakes, Jeffrey. My point isn't whether people should feel empathy or whether it's a good human trait or whether whatever. My point is, it's horrible what's going on in California. We know that. And again, there was probably 5 or 10 murders in the city of Chicago last night. And that's horrible too. And I don't think there's a whole hell of a lot of benefit to me knowing about reminds me of Yellowstone. Candy says we need to be informed about the fires. I'm not sure that we really do. Yeah, I'm not sure that we really do. You know, I get why we did. I watched too. And we said, wow, that's horrible. But I'm not sure that we really need to be informed about the fires or about the murders in Chicago or about the bus that crashes off a bridge. Well, Candy disagrees. She wants to know what's happening. Well, I get it, that you want to know what's happening. But I'm almost thinking your life and our lives would be better not knowing every horrible thing that's happening. Because I promise you, right now, there's some bad stuff going on as we sit here. And knowing exactly, because there's some horrible stuff going on right at this moment. And I'm glad I'm not aware of every horrible thing that's happening in the world right now. So we don't try to change things? I don't know what that means. Candy says she likes hearing about good or bad stuff. Well, one thing I know for sure, Candy, is the news doesn't tell you good stuff. Somebody's speaking Spanish to me. ¿Qué onda? Yeah, Sandra Lynn sees what I'm saying. She says she doesn't watch the news. It's depressing. It is. It is. And I watched it because it was especially depressing last night. But like I said, I promise you, each and every one of us, if we live near a city, we could turn on our local news and hear about a child that lost their life in the city last night. And I don't see that my awareness of that is benefiting that child, that family, myself, or the people in my world. And I just think the news isn't there to inform you. It's there to sell you ads. It's there to sell advertisement. You know, it's not there to inform you. It's a business. And they know that by putting negative news in front of you, you're going to watch. Because we're hooked on it. We are hooked on it. Jimmy said it's there to scare you. And no, I mean, it's not there to scare you. It's there to have you watch. It's there to hook you. And they know the more horrible the news, the more eyes they're going to have. Yeah. I don't know. They have a camera crew. You know, they have a camera crew and a guy holding a microphone and saying, look, fire burning in the house behind me. Maybe the guy should grab a bucket of water and throw it on the fire. That seems like it would help. Candy said, it's our choice to watch it or not. Yes, you can stop watching. Tom Hill likes keeping up with current events. That's funny. Makes me chuckle. Makes me chuckle. I think what it current events. That's funny. Makes me chuckle. Makes me chuckle. I think what it is we like. What has happened? Uh-oh. What happened? Is my alarm going off? Something happened. Today will be all about Jimmy Carter. Do I not know? Do I know about O'Block, Ken? I'm not sure what that means, Mike Jones. So I probably don't watch O'Block. I'll say this. I think most of our lives would be better and we'd be happier not watching the news. And every bit of inspirational book that I've read or inspirational material also says that. But I think for a lot of us, for some reason, the negative stuff feeds us. And I'm not sure why. Hey, Jenny, thank you so much for following the live creator. Hello, Jared Dream. Thank you for following the live creator. Favorite, I don't know what LOTR means. I don't know what LOTR means. Oh, Lord of the Rings. I mean, they were all really good. The first three were all really good. They were kind of slow and dreamy and whispery and fun to tune into on a Sunday afternoon when you're feeling like taking a nap and there's huge armies walking. I'd say they were all really good. You're practicing your English. All right, well, perfecto, Jenny. I guess I don't know why. I'm assuming you're a Spanish speaker. But it would be easier for me because I know Spanish and I don't know any other language. Hey there. Thank you so much for sending the rose. I really appreciate that. What a nice audience we have today. What a good crowd we have this morning. It is 10 to 6. By 6:30, I got to be out the door, headed down, pick up my little babies, my beautiful little babies, and pick them up, bring them right back here. It's going to be a long round trip, I'll tell you that. But I'd rather not focus on the negative. I would rather focus on the beautiful little smile that they both give me when I pull off their hats their mama pulls on them, and their hair is kind of going crazy and sticking up all over. And their little hand, when I reach back and give them a pretzel or a little piece of apple or something, and their little tiny fingers gripping my fingers and my shaky hands holding a pretzel or a little piece of apple, trying to successfully pass it on. The pretzels are fairly easy, but then Evie, who's starting to talk pretty well, goes, apple, apple, apple. So I just take a chunk of apple and hand it back to her, and she grabs it and kind of eats it. Maybe I'll give her some oranges too as well. I am going to have a great day with my precious little ones, Tanya. I'm picking them up an hour and a half early today. I usually pick them up at 8:30 and take them back around nap time, which is 12:30 or 1. And today I'm picking them up at 7. So I'm going to have a few extra hours. I tell you what, I'm actually kind of excited. This hotel room is nothing for them, really, outside of a place where they can be contained. I have 2 little ones, 2 toddlers. And when they're out and about, they toddle in different directions. And it's stressful and it's tiring, and walking out of wherever we go is stressful because, I don't know, they're too big to carry and too little to walk. And there's two of them. And there's only one of me. So I'm going to get them back in here, and we're going to shut the door, and we're going to be contained, and I'm going to go, you guys can't escape. We can bounce on the bed, we could take a bath, we could play Sesame Street, I could tickle you. We could eat some apples, pretzels, oranges. We could play with cups. And we're just going to do it. We are just going to do it. Brian Spaeth says, what about a stroller? Brian Spaeth, I'll bet you that you've never been one man in charge of two toddlers. Yeah. Because let me tell you, getting a double stroller out of the back, unpacking it and putting it together, and then getting the individual kids out and buckling them in, I will tell you what is no easy task. Is no easy task. Oh, is that good? That is good. That is good. Hello, Tyler Alexander. How are you? Mike Jones, I work every day. Who are you? Who are you, Mike Jones? I'm kind of curious when people hop on and ask the same question a bunch. Do-do-do. Boo-do-do. Hello from Tulsa, Greta G. Jason wants to know, coffee, tea, or mushrooms? I drink coffee. Candy said baby joggers work well to go out walking with the kiddos. Yeah. But again, when you're only going in and out of McDonald's or something like that, getting out a baby stroller, it'd be easier to put them and going for long walks. They fold up easily. Yeah. But again, it's cold. It's 11 degrees out right now. So it's not a time to go for long walks. What have you. Hello, Heather Fitzgerald. How are you? Paul, thank you so much for following the live creator. Brian asked for a status update. Where is the soul? Well, Brian, you should have watched the last 2 weeks. The soul is in the parking lot. It's right out there. I'm on the first floor today in my non-premium room. And, yeah, it's just parked out there. Every Saturday. Candy took her daughter walking in the mall every Saturday. Not Original was a stay-at-home mom of 3 toddlers and loved it. Yeah, no, it is good to be out. But it's not, not when you're always out. You know, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's good to be out. It's good to be out. But it's sometimes good to be in. And I'm looking forward to being in today. Yeah. Hello, Kevin. How are you? Hello, Sky Bear. Yeah. Ba-da-boo-boo. 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 I work from all over, Jason. Am I related to any Tracys from Ohio? Your husband's maiden name was Tracy. No, I do not have any Tracy relatives in Ohio. I have very few relatives here. Yeah, I have very few relatives here. Huh. Well, I appreciate that, Mike Jones. That's very kind of you to say. Hello, Lindsay. How are you? Am I staying safe over here with all the wildfires? Yeah, no, I'm staying safe here with all the wildfires. I mean, they're a few thousand miles away. Yeah, they're a few thousand miles away. But I'm staying safe. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Launch here, Larry. So I figured that. Good morning, Bo Vinyl. How are you? Thank you, Julie. How are you, Bo Vinyl? Who is Bo Vinyl? I know the guy. I can picture the guy. Or no. Maybe that was an actor I'm picturing. Who's Bo Vinyl? Isn't that a name from something? That's a name that's familiar. Do. Ba-da-boop-boo. 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 Well, it doesn't seem I have a whole lot to say this morning. We got a nice audience. We got a good crowd. And, yeah, what's happening? My phone's, live will end in 5 minutes. That means I have spoken. You need to get a pickup. I don't know what that means. Oh, Bo Vinyl, you need to get a pickup. Yeah, get a pickup, Bo Vinyl. Not that I can really see. Because I got bad eyes. And it's hard for me to see. Good morning, Mr. Banks. And Will Bill Chill, it is going to be a great day today. It is going to be a great day. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you're looking forward to it as well. No, Candy, I did not hear on the news. Like I said, and we've discussed, I don't really watch the news. But I so appreciate you guys for hopping on today. And I appreciate all you new followers today. I really do. Shop with less. Follow the live creator. Well, Greta G, thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate you saying that. Greta G said she's glad she found me again. She enjoys listening. And I enjoy having you here, Greta G. And I have appreciated this nice audience we've had today. I want to thank you all so much for joining. And I appreciate you. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I hope you are feeling good. And I hope you are loving. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I hope you are feeling good. And I hope you are loving yourself. Alarm going off right as I'm signing off. And I appreciate you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.